But Justin, we can move on to your shitty ass Bills team.
Boo.
Shut up, Matt. All right, the Buffalo Bills. They last year was probably a bit of a disappointment year, to be honest. They spent, they started out pretty good and then had gotten their mid-season slide, and it was a little worse than usual. They really slid mid-season. Fired their offensive coordinator, and that fixed everything. They played better to finish, and then stumbled their way into the division because the Dolphins blew it. Now, this is kind of what you would call a soft reset, guys.
All right. So, Justin, I'm just going to say this in advance. I'm sorry for anything that I might say.
I'm not.
Okay. Maybe I'm not, but I'm just trying to be okay. So the only thing that they have left is Josh Allen. Let's be real here. I mean, they lost Diggs, they lost Davis, they lost Mitch Morse, they lost Shaq Lawson, Linville Joseph. Like, look at this list: Poona Ford, Leonard Floyd, Tre'Davious White, Dane Jackson. They lost their team, and that's because they had piss poor planning. They invested money in the wrong places, right? I mean, you got to keep Josh Allen, but come on, you can't lose Diggs. Diggs is the whole reason your team was so good.
Justin, I do think that because I called it. I said Dane Jackson is leaving, and Tre'Davious White is leaving, and I can't remember.
How much were they in deficit? They were like deficit $56 million or something like that.
Yeah.
It was probably second to like the Saints because the Saints are always first in deficit every year.
And the Ravens too. The Ravens were as well. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, how are they going to recover? And it's like, yeah, I like Ray Davis, but that might be the best part of their team this year is James Cook and Ray Davis. That's kind of messed up. You got Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, and Matt Collins. That's going to be the starting three. I'm not so
yeah. They'll probably have Khalil Shakir as their starter.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like. That's like a all third wide receivers,
They're like the Commanders from a couple years ago, but like with a better quarterback.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be their saving grace is Josh Allen. That's who's going to keep them in this. But like, do you think he's still happy there at this point?
Yeah,
they keep shipping everybody else off.
You lost your entire secondary.
Specific plan here.
The more I look at this, the more the Bills could probably finish third in the division.
That's what I'm thinking.
So let me answer your questions here. The main thing the Bills did was they shed off anyone who was 30 and over. The only person that's over 30 left on the roster is Von Miller.
Everybody producing though, man. That's your production of the team. That's if you like.
But there's a lot of young guys who had to step in and play last year because all these old guys kept getting hurt.
What did they do?
Some of them struggled a little bit, but figuring it out still. But obviously, this is far from a finished product. That's why it's a bit of a reset year. This 2024 is kind of a lost year a little bit, but obviously, getting in a better cap spot to build for 2025 and beyond is the main point here. They are going to be a run-first team now. They have a decent offensive line.
Tell me they just cut everyone, and Lyle Collins is still there.
Yeah, he's on the additions. But yeah, they're going to be a run-first team. They're going to pound it with James Cook and Ray Davis. Probably.
That also
forget about
Josh Allen's that's what he's good at is passing. So you're gonna run options with Josh Allen.
Josh Allen almost had 1,000 yards as rookie year.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't rush, but do you want him taking those hits?
But probably going to run a little bit here and there. 2 tight end sets are going to be the big thing to look out for with Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox there. So probably only going to be playing 2 receivers at once, guys. Defense is definitely a work in progress, but it has been. Obviously, it was not good the end of the year, so it made sense that they kind of just shed everyone and tried to figure things out again. It's going to be a bit of a down year, but the main thing is getting in a better cap spot and trying to open a new window, starting in 2025.
I don't think it's going to be opening a window in 2025. I think they just got the younger players because they were cheaper. And I think they had to go that route because of the salaries that they had dished out. Like these guys are talented to a certain extent because they all made it to the NFL. But bro, like I think you're just too hopeful for the future. And I think that window has shut, it's closed, it's locked.
It reminds me of and it's a different sport, it's a different thing, but like the Reds, right? It's like they kept holding on to like Joey Votto and Brandon Phillips for so long because they're like, we're gonna keep making runs at this. And at a certain point, you got to cut your losses and start selling like everything. And they sold or just cut most of what they had. And it's like for me, they traded Diggs, which was cool, but the rest of them could have been traded instead of just cut. Like Tre'Davious White was cut, Dane Jackson was cut, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, right? They were let them walk. See.
Yeah, they had expiring contracts. White had to be cut because he was tied to a huge salary cap and hasn't made it through a full season in a while.
You think
torn ACLs recently, he may not be the same player anymore.
Do you think someone would have picked up his salary?
No. No one's going to take a risk on a guy who's torn 2 ACLs in 3 years.
I mean, like Linville Joseph?
He was 34. No one's going to trade for a 34-year-old.
I don't know, man.
Jets did,
yeah.
That is true.
But like Curtis Samuel's your best receiver, and he's at best a number 2.
Yeah.
Like he showed flashes down in Washington, but like
that's definitely gonna affect Josh Allen. Like he doesn't have that number 1 guy. Like Andy Dalton had AJ Green. That's pretty much the reason why Andy Dalton was so successful at one point. Right? Josh Allen doesn't have that.
No,
I know they want Keon Coleman to be that guy, but like
he's not that yet. He's not there yet.
It's gonna take until week 11 for any rookie to start not being a rookie anymore. And so by week 11, you'll know what you have. The rest of you'll know what you have with Keon Coleman pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen's passing game jumped up because of Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. Until pretty much Stephon Diggs was a big part of the passing game until the ending stretch last year. I don't know what it was, but Allen and Diggs were not on the same page anymore. Like it felt like every time he tried to get the ball to Diggs, something bad happened, and the offense became everyone else. James Cook, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, those are the main guys he was thrown to at the end of the year.
It became pretty one-dimensional, and they were trying to force the ball to Diggs. Whereas, the reality of the situation is when Diggs came to the Bills from Minnesota, that's what took you guys to the next level and put you up there with the Chiefs for however long, till the Bengals came along and started, competing as well, right?
Yeah.
Wrong? Okay, so losing Diggs, you have to replace that. Am I wrong? It's a huge hole.
No. Either the hope is that we replace him with Keon Coleman, or maybe we suck enough to draft one next year. We'll see.
Maybe this is how you get a new head coach too.
Potentially. Maybe you get Bill Belichick in there. No. Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Sorry, man. I just don't see the Bills competing this year that well, and I don't see the Bills doing that great.
This whole part of the episode has been you guys telling me why I shouldn't watch the NFL this year.
You've been saying that all off season. It was until we started doing the off season or the previews for the upcoming season that you were like, "Oh, maybe I should pay attention to the NFL."
Gotta figure out who to draft for fantasy football.